So here, as an industry expert, how do you see the situation in staffing company post-COVID, Prabakaran?
Sure. Before we go there, and I'll give a little, because of my decade of experience, or almost two decades. I'm in the talent acquisition space, or in the HR tech space. Um, so we have to consider the past and present so that we can predict the future. So I'll give the context rather than future will be look like this. Without understanding the past and present may not make sense. So let's go to the past. The past is our parents' generation, 50 years, 60 years ago. They are all worked for 60 to 80 hours a week. That was by default. They worked for 60 to 80 hours a week just to meet the ends, so that when they retire, they will have a home. So when they retire, they maybe experience the 10, 15 years of retirement life without working. That is the only thing. They worked for 30 years, 40 years to have an experience in the last 10, 15 years without expecting it from help, getting help from anybody. That was the only objective. That was the previous generation. Let's talk about the current generation. We are expected to work only 40 hours a week, right? Pretty much everywhere globally, 40 hours a week is the standard of, that is enough to live a standard life. That was the expectation, depends on where we are, how we are. There is a variation between low end jobs to high end jobs, but the expectation is not more than 40 hours a week. But we are living maybe 4 times comfortable life comparatively our parents, right? So the hours were reduced from 60 hours to 40 hours, but the comfortability is maybe 4 times more. And today, majority of the white collar workers and blue collar workers, what we are doing is to improve our quality of life, not for the foundation of the life, not for the fundamental of the life. So majority of the workforce, that again, I'm talking about the middle class and upper middle class, right? That's the industry that we are in. When we are here, we are not looking for, maybe we're looking for a better bike and maybe upgrading from a bike to car, not looking for buying a bicycle, right? So that is not the current fundamental generation is experience. They are looking for a 15,000 rupees salary to 20,000 rupees salary. Next year I need double the salary. Next year I want the double the salary. Next year I want double the salary. That was expectation, because our knowledge, our wisdom, and that is gaining an exponential value every year. So that's the current generation. Okay, what will happen to the future generation, right? Can you predict based on the past and present? What do you think will be the first generation will do, or our kids generation?
Well, according to me, the future generation could be looking more of recognition, or they might be expecting something to happen pretty quick, or they might be looking for positions or recognition than what we are looking now.
Exactly. So the material world is changing, right? They have everything. They want beyond the material world. In our generation also, we are not looking for fundamental things, food on the table, shelter on the, above the head, or good clothes. Most of the current generation having it because of the hard work of the parents. And then they are looking for, hey, I'm not looking for the basic necessity. Even the government is helping and supporting to give all the basic necessity. And we have cars, we have roads, we have malls to spend money, all of them. Everybody, we have mobile phone. And so that technology changed our quality of life pretty strong. So the future generation, as you said, it is no longer looking for even upgraded life. They are looking for an extremely high quality life, right? So the projection is, or prediction is, they will work only 30 hours a week, right? So probably 20 hours a week for salary, another 10 hours a week for maybe volunteers, or maybe a non-profit or not for profit, something like that. right? So then what happens, right? We the customer support, any service that is expecting, or any customer, they want to solve the problem, they are looking for solution 24/7. Previously they know that it's Saturday, Sunday, people may not be available, we cannot get the work done.
Yes.
And even banks nowadays saying that, okay, I can, today is Saturday, today is Sunday, we can go to the bank. But it's no longer like that. Any day, any time that you want, you have to go to the ATM, and you need to do a mobile transaction. I don't care whether the bank is people are working there or not, but the service is available 24/7. If the service is available 24/7, then the support team also needed for 24/7. If it is 24/7, and even if you're working 8 hours a day, you need 3 people to help and support, right? If that is going to shrink only 4 hours a day instead of 8 hours a day, then you need 6 people per day to work.
Wow,
Okay,
that's a pretty interesting math.
right? So that is how the system will evolve, how the industry will evolve, and the current crisis is going to accelerate that. So in my view, the number of jobs probably will double, but probably the number of hours may reduce. However, the salary may not reduce.
That's a
People may
pretty good
be,
news.
yeah, they may be able to make the same salary even with that 4 hours of work, but they are expected to be productive of 8 hours or 10 hours.
Absolutely. That
Okay,
makes sense.
the productivity will increase, efficiency will increase, but the number of hours they work probably will be the same. This is how the industry will change. And this is what we are seeing, that how AI, everyone, we will have an AI assistant. We already have an AI assistant. Our Android phone is AI assistant. Our iPad is an AI assistant. So any IVR system is an AI assistant. Everybody is creating a monkey next to them to do the work for them. So obviously, when low-end works are getting automated, everyone, they need to upgrade their skill to cope up with the expected productivity and efficiency. Okay, so we are transforming ourselves from knowledge economy to skill economy to credential based economy. That is how we are moving forward. What does it mean? Knowledge economy means you have degree, you have some experience, you have some knowledge, you may be able to pick up anything, right? Come and learn this. You don't have a recruiting experience, that's fine, come on board, we'll teach you in week or a month, you keep learning, and then be productive. That is not likely to be the case moving forward. When you are coming out of college, you are expected to be productive from day one. So your degree and knowledge, it will not be enough to get you a job. So you have to learn the skills that you are going to perform. If not, until you learn that skill, you are going to be less productive, you are not likely to get paid.
Interesting.
Right? That is how it will transform. Right? Okay. Then next step, how do you go above and above? So the skill economy will become a credential based economy. What does it mean, the credential based economy? Whenever you are ordering for something delivered, or even taking an Uber ride, every time you are giving a feedback, right? You are rating. Every time whatever you do is getting added to the credential. If you have less rating, probably you are going to get less rate. Similarly, who is getting better incentive? Right now, there is an incentive mechanism. There is a basic pay, there is an incentive mechanism. But the tools, methodologies in future going to come, so that every activity will be tracked, every thing that you do will be performance and productive metrics. And even it may come up with how many calls you make, how long your calls are made. And if you make less number of calls and more placement, your incentive structure may be different. That is, how they will measure the productivity,
So
right?
it's
And if you
completely on the individual and their talent and how they do it.
exactly, it is not going to be how long they're in the industry, how many years of experience he has. No, if some youngster coming out of college doing really good coding, they may be able to get more salary than an 8 years experienced person. So it is going to be more of a skill and credential economy. Now the recruiter job become more and more tough, right?
Mm.
Companies may say that I don't mind paying $100 an hour, $150 an hour. Bring me a 5x talent. So how do you know how you can get a 5x talent? AI probably may not help. AI will help for a low end work. You're trying to identify a forklift operator. All you need is forklift operator and get somebody. Have you done this? How long you have forklift operation experience? Okay, hire it. But if you're looking for, I want somebody with the Kubernetes experience in the DevOps environment, in Azure platform, in the financial domain industry, if right, all
Yeah.
of that, it may, you may get 10 or 15 resumes from pool of 10,000 resumes, but that 10 15 they're going to hire only one person. That hire is $20,000 worth. So if you are spending your 2 weeks of your time to identifying that talent, it's probably a $20,000 worth. So that is how the efficiency of the recruiter is going to get improved, and the expectation also going to get improved. However, because of 3 or 4 times number of people needed to perform the job, the number of positions may increase. That doesn't mean that the number of recruiters needed will be 3 times. No, their productivity expectation is 3 times more, which means they need to use the tools, they need to learn more, and getting things very specializing to a particular core competency to identify somebody and do that.
So if you would like to give some example, when you say core competency, it's about the way we minimize the candidate control, less backouts, working more of a job seeker psychology. That's what you mean, or learning the tools to minimize these things. What is that you mean, that specialization when we talk about?
It's a combination of all.
Okay.
um, the lot of tools will come that will reduce the leakage, but as I said, when we move from knowledge to skill to credential, 60 to 80% of the current problems will go away. Okay, if somebody is backing out, if that rating is getting updated and somebody else comes in, so he cannot play that role. Right now it doesn't exist, and part of the problem exists with the recruiting community too. And they are all receiver, they are not a giver. Right, a simple example is they go and see some openings and then they keep calling. They were not consuming the content. How many times the recruiters go and give an answer to one question? They learn, that is the human psychology, right? We are not all contributors. Only 1% people are contributors, remaining all receivers. One example is in the tech fetch, we asked recruiters to give a feedback on the resume. Is but 1 in 100 recruiters, maybe 1 or 2 will say yes or no. That too, they will say only if it is no, right? If it is a good resume or bad resume, they won't give positive feedback. When they get frustrated, oh, this doesn't look good, then only they go and update. But if everybody contributes, we can help everybody. So that is a mentality that we need to bring to improve the community. So everybody should understand that we are part of an ecosystem. If it is a traffic jam, it is because of us, because we don't have the discipline, right? So these are things will play a major role in terms of productivity and improvement. However, we are expecting to have 3 times more higher with the same number of recruiters, means the productivity expectation is 3 times. With that, combination of tools, knowledge, process, and continuous learning will play a role. Those who are side player, just moving around, just time pass, that's not going to cut down moving forward. So that's going to be the future.
Correct. So here I'm going back to the example that you have given, that the giving attitude, that is what needs to be increased in order to receive more. Because when we give, so by default, somehow we'll get more uh, from the universe, let's say. So here I believe it is applicable to the hiring manager from the top level to the bottom level, because sometimes we submit candidates when they are interested, they interact, and when they, after interviews, there are a lot of times we reach out but we do not get any information, and it results in showing a agony on the recruiter from the candidate point of view, that this guy only talks to me when he wanted a resume and now he has nothing for me. So how do you think it needs to be solved?
What may be the reason you think why it is happening?
The same thing, like giving attitude, I believe.
No. What could be the other reason? If they have a burning need to find somebody
Hmm.
and you are giving an exceptional candidate, and if they need to fill the position, yes, they will respond to you.
Perfect, I agree.
Right? So if
Mhm.
they are not responding, it could be a low priority requirement and they have some other burning issue to solve. So just because we have an opportunity and we want to make the placement, we cannot put the always as a human being, we are trying to find a reason for no,
Hmm.
not us on the other side. It is a
So
government problem, it is a manager problem, it is a employer problem, it is a client problem. I'm 100% perfect. How many times we can say that I'm not perfect, I can improve? How many times can we say that we have room to improve? So the
hmm,
attitude is within us, not the other side. And
absolutely.
I have seen requirements and people are asking for, I need somebody in less than 4 hours. I have 2 interview slots today. How many times we heard that? If there is a burning need, if there is a burning requirement, yes, they will respond. If not, we are on the other side. So we cannot expect everybody, if it happens, yes, happens. There is a leakage. Things will be like that. And they may
Hmm.
be saying that sometimes it may not be even an requirement that is needed now. They want to see, I need to find some good candidate, and then I want to go and give a proposal. Hey, I have a candidate like this. Can we bring them in? So they may be doing a business development for you inside the company to get or create this position, right? Not all the position may be a burning need. So I think that's the answer that I would like to give.
So, do you think after spending time on the call with the candidate, or maybe calling that person in person, shouldn't there be a courtesy to give a clear information that why that person is not in? I mean,
That
considering your situation, that hiring manager doesn't have a burning need, but it ended
it's
up for an
like, let's
interview.
take
He's
a let's take an example, right?
mm,
um, 20 years ago, I graduated in 1993 and I came out of college for my engineering degree in 1993. And I have seen boards on every company saying that there is no vacancy. Anyone, let me challenge the current generation. Have you seen anywhere they're saying that there is no vacancy board? Have you seen anywhere there is a no vacancy board?
we do not.
Why?
Mm,
Why? Does it mean that they have jobs or they don't have jobs? No. People who come and knock their doors looking for a job is no longer exist.
mm, interesting
Okay.
analogy. Yes.
They are reaching out to somebody. Hey, I have a job for you. Can you come? So somebody who's taking an effort to go and knock the door and give the resume, even the resumes we can give only to the securities on the gate. I have done it. Okay. That is how we got the job. And from 96 onwards, there's a massive hiring in campus. Companies goes there and attend. So now, when I go to colleges and ask them to, hey, how many of you willing to go and find a job on your own than a campus interview? How many of you have even the confidence to get a job on your own without a campus interview? Raise your hands. No, zero. Right. So when that game changed on the other side, everybody knows as a job seeker, i I have to submit my resume to 100 to 150 positions so that I may get one job, and it is my responsibility to follow up with the recruiter what happened. So I have shown interest. I need to, it is my job. So it is okay if you don't have a response from the manager, yes, this is how they also need to explain, hey, we're trying to get you position because there are some other, you have to, the recruiter should maybe working representing on behalf of the hiring manager partially. Similarly, when they are working with the candidate, they need to represent the candidate saying that, hey, I'll try my best to get you. That is the relationship that AI cannot do, the automation cannot do. That's why the job exists. If the manager can respond and they can give an answer to candidate, the candidate can respond to then there is no need for in between. Because of these issues, this job exists. If we solve this problem, the recruiter job doesn't exist. Right?
So due to this, it affects the trust and the belief, though, because we as a catalyst between the hiring manager and the candidate, where we wanted to meet both the end. So when we do not have a flow from the upper end, so as a recruiter, we need to end up giving this exact information that we are also waiting eagerly to hear something else. And by the time we see if we have any matching positions for you. So do you think this could be the,
That,
yeah.
yeah, that is expected. It is human relationship building, and it's like, you're sick, you go to the hospital, you're expecting the doctor to speak more favorable to you because that's what you want to hear. And if he says that, things are not right, you need to be here for another month, then that is not your best interest and intention. But that's, same thing here too. So it is a comfort words, right? You may not have the answers. However, you need to track. That's why the productivity and efficiency comes in. If there is a hiring manager keep on asking for a candidate and you're not, you can try once, you can try twice, and you can have 4 times. And if your productivity, you're not making a progress, you probably may not want to work with them. So you have to, the same thing. You submitted a candidate, they have interviewed, and they had been offered, and then they disappeared. That also happens. Now, the manager is chasing you. What happened to this candidate? You took all my time, and I've done it everything, and you're not delivering it. I'm not going to give any more. That time, you are chasing the candidate again and again and again, make sure that he's available. But if he's really a good candidate, if the market is good, so it is an ecosystem of supply, demand, interest, a lot of things involved, right? That's why the success rate is probably 2 or 3%. If we work on 100 requirements and we're able to make 2 or 3 closures, which means 97% of the time it is not working. Right? It will not work. That's why this many people are needed to fill those positions. So there is no perfect world, but we need to find a way what to do, what not to do, and go with the, always you cannot go on the main road, but making a side road sometimes may be helpful. It may not be as speed as, but sometimes, rather than traffic in a traffic jam, you better take a side road and still it is okay. So all those optimization as a human being that we need to make and make it work.